खाना पीना खाए साहब, लेकिन कभी मिला नहीं तो पहली बार।
मुझे अभी एक दिन मिले यार,
अच्छा, यहाँ कहाँ से आई, कहाँ से आई?
नहीं वो कहीं से इम्फाल से नागालैंड गए थे, नागालैंड से फिर कहीं वहाँ गए थे कहीं पे और साउथ में।
मथुरा से आप संडे को तो मूवी खाने थे
हाँ
सारे,
हाँ
सारे
वही
बैचलर थे।
वही है।
अच्छा।
मुझे अभी एक महीने पहले ना उसमें सिंधी में खाना खा रहा था लंच में, उधर ढूंढ के मेरे पास आ गए, मैं पहचान गया, काफ़ी सफ़ेद बाल होता है।
पहले जो सबसे
हाँ
पहले।
हाँ।
अच्छा, मिलते हैं।
पूछ रहा था सबसे,
हाँ
ये राव साहब के और ये दोनों एक साथ में
हाँ
थे।
हाँ हाँ,
वही है।
अच्छा अच्छा, फेस देख लेते
फेस नहीं पता
हैं।
पाया।
राव साहब हो गए या रिटायर?
हाँ मेरे तो प्यार हो गए। एक दिन
और
लंच,
राय चौधरी जी?
वो भी रिटायर हो गए।
दो लोग हैं भाई। ये
वही है।
यहाँ एक और है वहाँ से, वो तो आई थी, वो भी बाहर से ही आए। मतलब उसमें तो दो तीन बार
और
मिले
जगत
थे।
राम जो थी ना, वो जाते थे
हाँ हाँ, बहुत अच्छे तरह से नाम से तो भेजना भेजना तो अपने रहते नहीं है, जिस दिन नाम लेते हैं।
अरे भाई मैं तो कभी, मैं तो कभी नहीं आया था, लेकिन आया गया था जम्मू में, इधर इसके पास आ गए
अच्छा अच्छा।
कौन बात है।
हाँ।
A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of Graduate School IRI, faculty and students, I extend a warm welcome to all of you once again to the fifth day of week-long celebrations of the 62nd Convocation Program. Today we are here to commence the 54th Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial Lecture. Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji was a great statesman and freedom fighter who is well known for his honesty, integrity and humility. His commitment to agriculture development was the driving force behind Green Revolution in India. Today is a perfect day to commemorate the selfless service of Shastri ji to our nation and to the mankind. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the 54th Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial Lecture. On behalf of Graduate School IRI, I take this opportunity to welcome the dignitaries to the dais. Esteemed Chairman of the session, Dr. Panjat Singh sir, eloquent speaker of today's lecture, Dr. Himanshu Pathak sir, our respected director, Dr. A.K. Singh sir, our beloved Dr. Anupama Singh ma'am, Dean Joint Director IRI. On this auspicious day, let us begin our program with the blessings of late Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. On behalf of Graduate School IRI, I welcome Mrs. Neera Shastri and family members of Shastri ji and our esteemed guests for lighting of the lamp and to pay floral tributes to Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. I request Mrs. Neera Shastri and family members to join. Okay. Okay. May I now invite the students of IRI to recite the invocation song.
जय जय हे भगवती सुरभारती तव चरणों प्रणमाम्यहम् नाद ब्रह्ममयि जय बागेश्वरि नाद ब्रह्ममयि जय बागेश्वरि शरणं ते गच्छाम्यहम् जय जय हे भगवती सुरभारती तव चरणों प्रणमाम्यहम् त्वमसि शरण्या त्रिभुवनधन्या त्वमसि शरण्या त्रिभुवनधन्या सुरमुनिवन्दितचरणा नवरसमधुरा कविता मुखरा नवरसमधुरा कविता मुखरा स्मितरुचिरुचिराभरणा जय जय हे भगवती सुरभारती तव चरणों प्रणमाम्यहम् आसीना भव मानसहंसे आसीना भव मानसहंसे कुन्दतुहिना शशिधवारे हर जडतां कुरु बोधि विकासम् हर जडतां कुरु बोधि विकासम् सितपङ्कजतनु विमले जय जय हे भगवती सुरभारती तव चरणों प्रणमाम्यहम् 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 प्रणमाम्यहम्
Now I cordially invite our Honorable Director, Dr. A.K. Singh Sir, to welcome the Chairman of the session, Dr. Punjab Singh Sir, and Chief Guest and Speaker, Dr. Himanshu Pathak Sir, to this event with a bouquet of flowers. With the permission of the Chair, I take this opportunity to invite respected Dean and Joint Director Education, Dr. Anupama Singh, to deliver the official welcome address.
Sir, that was, shall I? Okay. So that is for Madam Neera, but sir is always saying that we are the hosts. Yeah. Thank you, sir. आप सबका हार्दिक अभिनंदन. Chairperson of today's function, Dr. Punjab Singh Ji, Chancellor, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Central Agricultural University, Jhansi, and the former Secretary DARE and DG ICR, New Delhi. The distinguished speaker of 54th Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial Lecture, Dr. Himanshu Pathak ji, Secretary DARE and DG ICR, New Delhi, and esteemed alumnus of IRI. Members of the family of late Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, Madam Neera Singh ji is on the way, and Neera Shastri ji is on the way and has very kindly asked to start the program. So we are thankful to her. She is on the way to join us very shortly. Dignitaries in the front row. May I start taking the names? Madam Renu Singh, Madam Himanshu Pathak, Madam Rashmi Singh, Dr. Sadamte ji, our very esteemed Dr. R.B. Singh sir, DDG Education, Dr. R.C. Agarwal ji, Dr. Jalali, and Mr. Praveen Gupta, the Director of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, New Delhi. Esteemed members of Academic Council of the Institute who have joined here and all online, Deputy Director Generals of ICAR, worthy former directors and JDs of IRI, directors of various ICR institutes on the Pusa campus and its hubs who have joined here and online, joint directors, PDWTC, HODs, professors, worthy faculty members, scientists, press and media representatives, staffs, students, ladies and gentlemen. I most humbly welcome you on behalf of the Director IRI and on my own behalf. As I have this duty of introducing the audience about this lecture, this series of annual lectures in the memory of late Lal Bahadur Shastri ji was instituted by the Indian Agricultural Research Institute in 1968 as a mark of our respect to one of the most illustrious and exemplary sons of the country, the second Prime Minister of independent India, late Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, who is revered for his honesty and dedication to the nation. Shastri ji, we all know, symbolizes the very simplicity of Indian life in its vast cultural milieu and the triumph of a sovereign nation striving to meet the aspirations of its people. He is the epitome of our national pride and in fact as a reference to the honesty and dedication, as I mentioned earlier. Shastri ji invoked the reverential slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, honor the soldier, honor the farmer, because he had envisioned that both the Jawan guarding our frontiers and the Kisan in the agricultural fields, helping to ensure food security to the countrymen and our safety, are the pillars of strength essential as an independent sovereign nation. The prestigious Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial annual lectures have been delivered in the past by various stalwarts. I am naming here Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, Dr. G.V.K. Rao, Professor D.T. Lagdawala, Professor C.H. Hanumantha Rao, Professor M.S. Swaminathan, Shri Jayant Patil, Professor Y.K. Alag, and Dr. D.N. Tiwari, to name a few. The first lecture in 1968 was by Dr. Vikram Sarabhai on the topic, How Green is the Revolution? There are several other prominent speakers, including the CSIR DG, former DG Dr. R.A. Mashilkar, Dr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia, and many such luminaries of the compendia of their lectures is being prepared by the graduate school, and we will be bringing out a publication of all the lectures within this year. So, on behalf of the Institute and all those present here, I welcome, sir, all of you, and also all the audience. Thank you very much. And now I request the Director IRI to kindly introduce Dr. Punjab Singh sir in brief about with the audience.
A very good morning to each one of you. Most Honorable Dr. Punjab Singh, Chairman of this very important lecture series. Dr. Himanshu Pathak, the speaker for today's late Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial Lecture, my colleague Dr. Anupma. In the audience, we have many distinguished personalities, Padma Bhushan Professor R.B. Singh, DDG Education Dr. Agrawal, Professor Jalali, our member of Academic Council, and Dr. Praveen Gupta, who is Director of the Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, एंड ऑल्सो हमारे साथ हमारे प्रबंध समिति के सदस्य बद्री नारायण जी जो राजस्थान से आए हैं, उनका भी और आप सभी साथियों का मैं हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूं इस बहुत महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम में। Dr. Punjab Singh, chairman of this program today, is a very distinguished academician, scientist who has provided leadership to academics in this country for long. Born in the village Anandpur in Mirzapur district, and he did his master's in agronomy from Agra University with first position in the university, and his PhD he did from IIT Kharagpur, and he has served many important positions. To start with, as assistant professor in CCS University Meerut, at Jodhpur he served the director of Indian Grassland Fodder Research Institute, joint director research of this institute, then vice chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru Krishi Vishwavidyalaya at Jabalpur, further director and vice chancellor of this university, and then as Director General ICR and Secretary there. And next to that, one of the most prestigious assignment that he had was as the Vice Chancellor of the Banaras Hindu University, the Sarva Vidya Ki Rajdhani, the position which was served by none other than Bharat Ratna Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya and Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. It's a great honor to have you, sir, here to chair this particular system. I also welcome Anil Shastri ji. Thank you, sir, so much for joining here with us. We are just about to start. I welcome you with a bouquet of flower. Oh, yeah, please go. Yeah, go. So, continuing with the introduction of the chair, Professor Punjab Singh, former Vice Chancellor of Banaras Hindu University. Professor Singh also served as Regional Plant Production and Protection Officer in the FAO of the United Nations. And post-retirement, he has started his non-governmental organization called Foundation for Agriculture and Rural Development. And through this foundation, he is helping a large number of farmers, producers, organizations, training them in their capacity building, arranging finances for them, and helping them through technology to produce quality produce. And in fact, he has been able to mobilize a large number of FPOs to export vegetables, particularly chili and peas, to Middle East and Gulf countries, which has really brought a revolution at the grassroots level through his service. He has played a very significant role, in fact, of building the education system in the country, and his research contribution, particularly in the water management and in crop management, is phenomenal. And he has been decorated with Doctor of Science honoris causa from as many as 11 universities. So once again, I welcome you, sir, heartily, and thank you profusely for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much.
Chairman of today's program, Dr. Punjab Singh sir, to formally introduce our chief guest and speaker, Dr. Himanshu Pathak sir, to this august audience.
Good morning to all of you, and a very warm welcome to this prestigious series of lecture that is being held today. Respected Dr. Pathak, Director General ICR, Dr. Ashok Singh, Director IRI, Dean IRI, Rupma Singh, Anil Shastri ji, को प्रणाम करता हूँ सर, Professor R.B. Singh, many distinguished colleagues sitting in front, Mrs. Pathak, Renu, Director IRI, Mrs. and then all distinguished colleagues from IRI outside, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me at the very outset give our tribute to a great leader. I wish there are few like Shastri ji, taken birth in this country, things should have really changed. We are privileged that the place that I am staying, his hometown, everything is very close to us. So we are really grateful to him, whatever he did, and his family thereafter. Late Hari Kishan Shastri ji has been our minister when I was at that called in ICAR. So that has been tremendous service given to them. So it's a very good way to pay tribute to late Dr. Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. Now, today's lecture is very important because it is being delivered to recall and remember our great Prime Minister and a great human being. I underlined with all possible force that I can do. And secondly, the lecture itself is very important. It's a transforming agriculture education for aspiring India. And third, it is delivered by a very important person and a very active scientist, and now the Director General of ICAR, Dr. Himanshu Pathak. So it's my privilege to introduce you all to him. As if it's not that you don't know about him, but I think I will really highlight some of the things which many of you would like to hear and listen to what we do. And you remember, Dr. Pathak obtained his BSc Agriculture degree from Banaras Hindu University, again from a very great university. We say among universities, BHU is on the top, as we know, for various reasons. And then he did his MSc and PhD from this very institute and had been a scientist of a global repute. Dr. Pathak joined as Secretary Department of Agriculture, Research and Education and Director General ICR on August 22, 1st August 22. Before that, he served as Director NAIBM in Baramati, Director ICR National Rice Research Institute in Cuttack, and then Principal Scientist and down, all that is his career in IRI, right from 97 till I think 2009 or so. So you can imagine, he is really born, brought up, trained, and emerged as a very great scientist, which not only country knows but the world knows. Now, he worked as a visiting scientist in University of Essex, UK, Erie, Philippines, CSIRO in Australia, and also in Germany for meteorology and climate research. He was engaged in teaching and guiding MSc and PhD students since 1993 in IRI. Dr. Pathak is Fellow of Indian National Science Academy, National Academy of Sciences, India, National Academy of Agriculture Sciences, West Bengal, Academy of Sciences and Technology, and Indian Climate Congress, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. He is also the President of National Academy of Sciences, New Delhi. He is the recipient of Alexander von Humboldt Fellowship of Germany, Rafi Ahmad Kidde Award of Indian Council of Agriculture Research, N.S. Randhawa Memorial Award, NAS Dr. R.B. Tamane Memorial Lecture Award by the Indian Society of Soil Science, Silver Jubilee Commemoration Medal, Golden Jubilee Commemoration Young Scientist Award of the Indian Society of Soil Science, Biocaste Fellowship of Department of Science and Technology Young Scientist Award, Dr. B.C. Dev Memorial Award, Professor S.K. Mukherjee Commemoration Award, and Platinum Jubilee Award lectured by Indian Science Congress Association, and Recognition Award of National Academy of Sciences. He served as the President of Agriculture and Forestry Science of India, and presently, he is the President of the National Academy of Agriculture Sciences. So you can listen, you can see, the kind of contribution that gives a weight, and you understand how strong he has been in science, and that led to get all these awards. He was the lead author of the Indo-Governmental Panel on Climate Change, 5th Assessment Report. He is also the lead author of IPCC for updating GHG inventory. Dr. Pathak was the coordinator for United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, Department of Research and Education there, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, and received ERI Philippine Outstanding Administrative Support Award. Dr. Pathak has published more than 200 research papers, identified among the top 2% of the global scientists in agriculture by Stanford University, USA, ranked number 365 in the world and number 5 in India in plant sciences and agronomy by ResearchCom. I think it has to get a 3 cheers, in this whole society that we have. He has H index in publication 78, I-10 index 249 with more than 24,000 citations in international journals. So I think with this introduction, though it is brief as I said because I did only a smaller part of it, Dr. Pathak has been an outstanding scientist. Ever since he entered into science, he concentrated very strongly and then led to various positions, various organizations, both in country and abroad. And today we are privileged to have Dr. Pathak here to deliver on very important topics, which I am sure will give what are all latest that you can see in agriculture, education in frontier areas, and that will be great that we can achieve. So with these little introduction of Dr. Pathak, I request him to, I don't know, I am to introduce, maybe someone else will request, but I also request you to deliver the lecture here. So thank you, and I think we'll have and listen to what we have. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. Most Honorable Professor Punjab Singh Ji, the chairman of this particular session, Dr. A.K. Singh Saab, who are the director of Indian Agriculture Research Institute, Dr. Anupama Singh, Joint Director Academics and Dean of this great institute, Professor R.B. Singh Saab, mentor of many of us, माननीय शास्त्री जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपको, आप समय निकाल करके हमारे बीच आज उपस्थित हुए हैं, आपका स्वागत है. माय कॉलीग डॉक्टर अग्रवाल, डॉक्टर जलाली, डॉक्टर गुप्ता, डॉक्टर सदामते, ऑफ कोर्स मैडम रेणु सिंह जी, सुमिता, all my colleagues, head of the divisions, professors, Joint Director, I can see Dr. Padaria, Dr. Vishwanathan, Badnarayan ji, and most importantly for today, for the whole week of convocation, beloved students, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great honor for me and also for the council, let me acknowledge, for getting the invitation to deliver probably the most prestigious lecture of IARI in the memory of late Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. I will be talking on transforming agriculture education for an aspiring India. But then, before I start that, let me once again pay my homage to this great son of India. This slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kishan, has really uplifted the stature not only of Jawans and farmers, not only of Jawans and Kishans, but all the agricultural scientists. Later on, of course, we have added Jai Anushandhan, Jai Vigyan and so on, but these two, Jai Jawan and Jai Kishan, have remained the status of the whole ethos of India. So a tribute to to our visionary leader. Friends, in my talk, I shall cover these few aspects while talking about transforming education for an aspiring India. I shall talk about agricultural education in pre and post-independent India, current state of agricultural education in this country, changing landscape and challenges of agri-education, initiatives of ICAR to address some of those challenges, and of course a roadmap for agri-education for a developed India, Viksit Bharat. All of us know that human resource is the greatest treasure of a nation. All the civilizations all over the world, they recognize it. And in Indian civilization, that was realized in a much broader way. You open any textbook, any scripture, you will find this is basically of promoting education. In Sanskrit it says, Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayat yati patratam, patratat dhanamapnoti, dhanat dharma tata sukham. It means, Vidya deti hai vinay, vinay se patrata, patrata se धन, धन से धर्म और धर्म से सुख। तो किसी भी मनुष्य का पूरे जीवन में जो कुछ भी प्राप्ति होना होता है, उसका मूल जड़ है विद्या, नॉलेज। नो सोसाइटी कैन फ्लरिश and not ever flourished without knowledge. And that is the basic of all civilizations, of all regions and all religions all over the world. India, of course, was the pioneer there. If you just quote Swami Vivekananda, what he said, that we want that education by which character is formed, mind is increased, intellect is expanded, and that's what education. And the end of all education should be man making. So actually, Dr. A.K. Singh, you are director of a factory which produces human beings. Of course, you develop varieties, you develop technologies, you develop many things, but then you also develop human being, man making. And that's what the basic of all the purpose of education. And as I mentioned, education was the center of Indian civilization. And so was agriculture education. We started with what we say in Sanskrit again, Jeev, Jivanam, Krishi. And agriculture was in the curricula of Nalanda, Takshila universities and many others. But then of most recent ones, Madam, आपकी स्वागत है, नमस्कार. So agriculture colleges started in Saidapet, Tamil Nadu in 1877, then Bombay in 1886, and then of course Calcutta 1893, and then several others came up. Madras in 1903, Kanpur, Coimbatore and Nagpur in 1805, and that was the same year when this institute was established in Pusha, Bihar, and then Pune in 1907 and Sabor in Bihar in 1908. These are all before our independence. But then, once the country got independence, there was a very major thrust on developing agri-education in this country. And we all remember very well the very famous quote of the first Prime Minister of this country, that everything else can wait, but not agriculture. Several initiatives were taken. University Education Commission 1948-49, and then of course IRI Deemed University 1958, Pantnagar University 1960, and then several other universities came up. University Grant Commission and Kothari Commission 64, 66. First National Policy on Education, 1968. And the new National Policy on Education, 1986, which was modified in 92 as well as 2005. And then of course, very recently, we have got National Education Policy 2020. So all this gives a chronology of how education and also agricultural education in this country has developed. Friends, we all are connected to this great institute, and again this great institute has a very long and very successful journey in its academic programs. Established in Kusha, Bihar, all of us know, in 1905, when Lord Karjan was the Viceroy. Postgraduate course, IRA Associate, started in 1923. Shifted to New Delhi, 1934. Diploma course, MSc equivalent, 1949. And then first deemed University of India, 1958. Outreach programs at CIE Bhopal and Institute of Horticulture Research, 2015. And then of course, very recently, campuses in Assam and Jharkhand, 2018. And on 11th of this month, sir, we are going to inaugurate the Jharkhand campus of IRI, just few days later. And then of course, we extended our outreach program at Niazam Baramati, NIBSM Raipur, and also IIAB in Ranchi. And then last year rather, we had again expanded it, and now we are having 16 hubs of IRI, where we have initiated our academic programs. As you all know that Indian agriculture has accomplished tremendous success. There is no doubt and no debate on that. But again I would say that the root of all these revolutions of India has been its successful program on education, on academics. Whether it is Green Revolution, where we could increase the productivity and production from merely 50 million tons to 30 million tons plus, when the average productivity at that point of time in 1970 used to be only 0.7 tons per hectare, which now has increased to 2.4 tons per hectare. It is in crop, and again in white revolution, similar kind of improvement has taken place. Not by increasing the number of animals, but by increasing the productivity of animals. Again, the technology and education has played its role. Fisheries sector, where now we are getting around 8 to 10% growth annually. Again, a big achievement. Our golden revolution in the horticulture front, where the production, which was only 25 million tons in 50-51, now it has crossed 350 million tons. So more than 14-15 times increase. And then of course in agriculture machinery, so this is one example that India is the leading producer, manufacturer of tractor and exporting all over the world. So the country which was a net importer of food grains is now net exporter in agricultural commodities. And again, the root of all of these changes has been the strong agri-education system, strong academic programs in this country. Now let's quickly see what is the current status of agri-education in our country. Now we have got 76 agriculture universities in government domain. We have got 40 state agriculture universities, 3 central agriculture universities, 15 veterinary universities, 7 horticulture universities, 3 fisheries, 4 central universities with agriculture is one of the faculties, and Banaras Hindu University is of course one of those, and 4 deemed universities, and this institute, IRI, is one of those 4 there. We run 80 PhD programs, 95 postgraduate programs, and 11 undergraduate programs. These are all in public sector. Of course, these universities, the 76 are different in terms of their size, in terms of budget, in terms of curriculum. Just one or two parameters in terms of number of faculty. We have got universities which has got more than 600 faculty members, regular ones I am talking about. But also we have got universities, quite recent ones, which have got less than 100. In terms of budget, it goes more than 600 crores per year, but also we have got universities which have got only less than 100 crores per year budget. So we have got smaller one, we have got bigger ones. And recently, there is another development. So many private universities have colleges, have come up, quite large in number, around 156, 57. It is not that they are giving only agriculture teaching. They have got several other faculties, but agriculture is certainly one of those. A number of private colleges affiliated with agricultural universities, more than 100. And in each of these colleges and universities, we have got 120 to 360 students. So if you include all these, we have got around 30,000 UG students in public system, 15,000 for PG, and around 5,000 for PhD, and from private system, another 45 to 50,000 students. So around 95 to 1 lakh students, agriculture students, are getting their degrees annually. But then, agriculture universities are also often criticized that we are teaching very less, very few of the students. Number of agriculture universities compared to total number of universities of the country is 9%. So agriculture universities constitutes 9% of total number of universities in the country. But we teach or we produce only 1% or less than 1% of the total number of students who are getting degrees. So though our numbers are 9%, but we are producing less than 1%. So there is a big gap, and there is always a potential to increase the number of students there. Our education division, Dr. Agrawal is sitting here, they did a very comprehensive study about the students' feedback and also the quality and requirement of faculty members. And what they obtained, that even around 10, 11 years back, the major source of information for students used to be their school, notice board and so on, but now they are getting most of their information through social media. Self-awareness. So now they are getting more and more information of their own, from their friends, from their social media and so on. About competency level of the faculties, there are one or two areas which are of concern. Around 74.5% students feel that our faculty members are quite strong in the theoretical aspect. In practical subjects also little less, but 65% feel yes, they are quite strong. But when it comes to orienting students on personality development skills and orientation for business acumen, that skill or that part in our agri education is very weak. So we give them theoretical knowledge, we give them to the extent possible practical aspects, but then so far as starting off their own business, going for their own startup adventures, in that area we are still inconstant. We also tried to collect some information, what is the assessment of the faculties. Of course there could be several parameters, but one parameter is what is the citation of their publications, H index, per faculty or per university. And in that way, of course, it was not a big surprise that IRI comes first in terms of H index per institute for this one. And of course, per faculty also it will be like that. Second comes PAU, and then of course there are many others. But then, though IRI is first, but the number is not very high. It really can go much higher, much higher. And that of course one area where we can concentrate. So this is a little bit of background of how agri-education in this country started and what is the current position. Now let's go to the second part of the presentation, and that is, what are the changing landscape of agri-education in this country? Not only education, but almost every area of agriculture, there is very significant changes, and the changes are happening very fast, very quickly, very, very quickly. If you simply compare 10 years or even 15 years back, the kind of education or kind of agriculture what India used to practice, now it is quite different. I shall give you some examples of those. The major drivers of all these changes, which have already happened in the last 15-20 years, and these are going to happen even at a faster rate in coming decades. One is of course our demography. Second is of course our consumption pattern change, climate change and other problems, and of course emergence of new technologies. So these drivers are going to change the whole landscape of agriculture and also agriculture education in this country. Changing India, and all of us now working very dedicatedly to transform this country into a developed country. विकासशील भारत से विकसित भारत बनाने का जो प्रयास from the top till the down. Now let me give you some numbers what India is going to be in 2047 and what we are today. Population is of course going to increase, may not be at the same rate, but still it is going to increase from 140 to 163 crores. People below poverty line will be reduced from 27% of today to 5%. Rural population again will come down from 65 to 45. Urban population will increase from 35 to 55. Agriculture workforce will come down significantly from 50% to 25%. And then of course income also will increase, gross domestic product will go up, agriculture share to GDP will go down. That doesn't mean that agriculture growth is going to go down, no. It will continue increasing, it will be much higher, but then compared to other sectors, it is going to be less. And then of course land availability will go down, as all of us can expect. Water availability again will go down from 1500 meter cube per capita to only 1200. So these are India of 2047. Number of families which are middle class or upper class going to go up, and of course number of families in lower income group are going to reduce, and because of this there is going to be significant change in consumption pattern, significant change in their requirement, in their demand and so on. Now to meet all of those requirements, agriculture also has to change. And I say all the time that if India has to transform itself into a developed country, it cannot be possible without developing its agriculture. That's the prerequisite to develop this country into a developed country. And for that we have to increase our food grain production from current 330 million tons to 520 million tons. Fruit, vegetable, nutricereals, milk, mechanization, post-harvest loss. In all these parameters you will see there is going to be significant changes. And so also the efficiency of water use, efficiency of nitrogen use, efficiency of energy, and all of these things are going to change. And agri-education and agri-research has to deliver all of this. Changing agri-education landscape. As I mentioned that farming, even 15 years back, was a different kind of farming in many parts of this country compared to today what it is. It is much more mechanized, much more intensive. Our farmers are also changing. In many places, in many rural areas, old people are now doing the farming. Many of the young people have migrated, or probably they have lost interest in agriculture. Consumers are also changing. Now they are very much concerned about the quality. They are also concerned about the nature. So whether the product which is coming, is it produced in a nature friendly way, or are you producing with lots of pesticides, lots of fertilizers? So all of these are changing with the consumers. Students, and again around 15-20 years back, when I was a student of BS Agriculture in BHU, I used to say most of the students used to come from rural background. And almost every one of them, except few percentage, they had agriculture in their family. So they know agriculture. They might not be doing agriculture directly, but they have grown up. They are born and brought up in agriculture environment. But now it is not like that. Now a large number of students are coming from towns, semi-towns, cities and so on. It is good that they are coming, and all my student friends are here. It is good that they are coming. But then the orientation which those rural students used to have, now their orientation is different. So we have to impart a different kind of education and training and practical to them. So that changes we have to keep in mind. Gender is another dimension. Again, going back to BHU. In my class of around 60 students, there was only one girl. And again, she was from Manipur. But then, last year I was in BHU, in their convocation. Now don't think that I am biased to BHU, I am just giving example of BHU because I know that one. There, around 60% of the students who received degree were girls. तालियां आपको बाद में और जोर बजानी है. And 90% of the students who received medals and awards and same thing I observed when I visited Pantnagar, same thing exactly I observed when I visited OUAT Bhubaneswar and almost everywhere. और इसीलिए IRI में हमें एक नया हॉस्टल बनाने का जरूरत पड़ा, 500 सीट, Falguni, which we just inaugurated few days back, exclusively for the girl students. This is again a very positive change, and my congratulations and compliments to all the girl students who are now coming to study agriculture, to lead agriculture in that way. Job landscape is also changing. Earlier, all IRA students used to depend on government jobs, mostly RS or IAS or something like that, but now those jobs are limited. But many more jobs are being created in private sector, in industries, in various startups and so on. Science has also changed. Now it is more of digital. Lots of new tools and technologies have come. Very time-saving, very efficient technologies are now available for doing research and also for education. And of course, the art of teaching, pedagogy, has also changed in a very big way. Now we talk of virtual classrooms, we talk of MOOCs, we talk of artificial intelligence and so on. So all these things show how the agri-education landscape in this country, and of course all over the world, has changed dramatically, not in last few decades, last one decade rather, or maximum 1.5 decades. Changing agri-business landscape. Again, what we used to find 5 or 10 years back, today it is entirely different. It is now all market driven, automated agri-infrastructure, digital supply chain, digital markets. You don't need to go anywhere, just make a phone call or just from your mobile you give the order and within 10 minutes the things will be in your home. All these things are happening. So earlier, what I used to do, productivity driven agriculture, focus on enhancing production. So farmers will produce and then he or she will go to market to sell it. But now the production has to be as per the requirement of the market. First see what market wants, and then you produce that commodity what is required in the market. And accordingly, the number of graduates and also their disciplines are going to change. It has already changed a lot. So again, our education division conducted a very comprehensive study on this, that in years to come, say 30, 35 and 40, what is going to be the requirement of agri graduates in the country? How many we are producing today? How many will be required in say 2040? And what is our plan for that? Again, you will see that today, all these agri universities, including ICR and deemed universities, are producing only around 50% of what is required in the market. And when the country is going to be more and more developed, income is going to be more and more, then the requirement is also going to increase. But then as per our plan, we are also going to increase the number of graduates, not only in government sector, but also in the private sector. And then again, there are some disciplines which are going to be of high demand. It is not that others are not required, those are also important, but then I tried to highlight few of those which are going to be of high demand in years to come. And you can see some of those are listed over here. The point is, the whole human resource requirement of this country in agriculture sector is now going to change in a very big way. And of course, changing teaching learning process, we have all observed this. We started with this one, Guru Shishya Parampara, all these ashramas and everything. Then we moved to a little bit of classroom in some corner of a village. And then of course blackboard came, and then concept of classroom came. Then of course halls like this. But then again all the computers and internet and Wi-Fi and everything came. But then after a few years, none of this will be required probably. All of them know where the information is, where to get all these materials, and then they will be able to do it. So these are the challenges, so these are the changes of the agri education landscape in the country. These have all happened, or these are going to happen in next few years or in coming decades. Now, agri education system in this country has to address those changes in the landscape and those challenges. What are those challenges? In spite of so much of development, still there is challenge of availability of food grain. As I said, the production has to increase up to 520 million tons by 2047. Not only production, which may be possible to cater the need of food availability, but food accessibility is another major concern because of increasing cost of cultivation, market uncertainty and so on. Utility of that food, nutrition point of view, another challenge. Stability of the production because of climate change and several uncertainties. So last year we could produce 330 million tons, but that doesn't give a guarantee that this year also we are going to produce 330 or even more than 330, because still a large part of our country is rain-fed. Climate still plays a very big role for the overall production of this country. And then of course equity and equality, both are again concerned of today and also of years to come. And all this we need to achieve alongside these problems of decreasing water availability, degrading soil, increasing pests and diseases, and intensifying climate change, which is becoming more and more fiercer almost every year, every season. And another problem is huge loss of food. Just few days back, a report was published by United Nations Environment Program that this country is losing more than 68 million tons of food annually. That is 50 kg per capita per year. We also contribute in this number. So let us also remember that we should not be doing that. So around 1/3 of the total food which is produced in this country is lost before it is consumed by people. So these are the challenges, these are the problems. Now how to go ahead about it? To make a roadmap, I just wanted to make a SWOT analysis. What are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, opportunities and threats of agri education system in this country? We have got quite good strength. Our faculty members are competent. They come from all national competition. Our students are very, very competitive, very, very intelligent. And I have said it earlier, let me again repeat it today. When I see our students, I do not have any hesitation to accept that you are much more brilliant than what I used to be or what my friends used to be when we were students at our time. You are really brilliant, you are really hard working, you are really dedicated. And therefore the expectation from all of you is also much higher, much, much higher. Multidisciplinary research, ICAR does, and we have got a history of success. We have given green revolution, white revolution, blue revolution. A country which was ship to mouth now is exporting food grains, and not only exporting food grains, all of you know that during Corona time, this country distributed food free of cost to at least 15 countries of the world. Free of cost. ताली जोर से बजा सकते हैं. So those are the achievements. Those are the success stories of Indian agriculture. But then we have got our weaknesses as well. Limited number of faculties, I showed you some numbers in some universities. Poor funding, again I gave you some numbers. Less exposure to new science. Our students as well as our faculty members. Poor employability of students, because now the requirement is something different. Now you have to go and search job in private sectors, and they need some different kind of skill, not only theoretical knowledge. But we have got very good opportunities with National Education Policy 2020, large population of youth who can really serve this country. Of course, new funding sources, changing aspirations of society is an opportunity for us. That people want more and more from us. So we are in a position to deliver those. But then we have got our threats like low income in agri sector, which is a problem, less job opportunities, competition from other sectors, and of course climate change, COVID, conflict, calamities, all these are also there. So these are the threats. We all have seen how COVID can disrupt the whole cycle of development. But again, the good point is, during COVID period, all the sectors of economy, not only in India but all over the world, failed. But agriculture didn't stop. Agriculture contributed and went on with a very good growth, and that's why even during those 2 years of very difficult times, many countries, including India, could survive and could progress. So that's the strength of agriculture. Now, to address some of those challenges and those problems, ICAR has taken some of the initiatives. And again, let me take the name of our DDG Education, Dr. Agrawal. He and his whole team, they are working on this. Few things what ICAR could achieve in last, say, 1 or 2 years. Some of our reforms which are student-centric, let me mention those. We've increased number of seats, and IRA is of course one of them. Increased number of hubs. Admission and fellowship, again we have made the process simple. We have joined CUET for admission, and I shall tell you the impact of that one. Digital facilities, all of our universities, including ICAR institutes, have been improved in a very big way. Teaching learning enhancement process also we have initiated, including our pedagogical development program. New courses we have initiated, and of course new journals by students, that has also come up. ICAR accreditation process has been made very simple now. Within 3 months, we are in a position to give the accreditation or whatever the decision could be. Model Act of 2023 has been implemented in the universities. academic management system has again been developed and implemented, and again ranking system, one nation, one ranking, and all our universities have now joined National Institutional Ranking Framework, NIRF, in which a separate category for agriculture has been included by the Government of India, and again the guidelines have been developed for our universities to attain global ranking. So it's not only limited to agriculture sector, but now within the country we are with all other universities so far as ranking and other rules are concerned, and also going for global ranking. Few very positive shifts, I would call them paradigm shifts, have happened because of some of these changes. Number one is on-time graduation rate has increased by around 19%, which is now 95.7. In 2016-17 it was 77% or so. It is quite jump there. Placement rate has also increased. Now it is 66%, which was only 41% in 2016-17. ICAR seats also number increased. Faculty research effectiveness in terms of H index, which has also increased, now it is 30.6, which was only 21.2 in 2016-17. Internal revenue generation also increased by around 13.5%. Industry sponsored projects, that has increased in a very big way, more than 600%, more than 6 times. So now industry is coming to us to support our students' projects, and of course, as I mentioned, gender equality. Now around 50% of our students are girl students. These are some of the changes which have happened, and of course, in one of our program called NAHEP, we could really get our students trained in internationally reputed universities and organizations. So 2,100 students have got this exposure, went outside to get training. More than 800 of our faculty members also got this opportunity to visit other institutes and laboratories in the world. And then of course several other things have changed. And then finally, number 10 could be resilient agricultural education system is also implemented, which is having all these digital content, digital infrastructure, all other facilities which are also could be developed. So these are some of the changes which we could bring in. One of our flagship programs called RAWE, Rural Agriculture Work Experience, that is now undergoing a very drastic changes, very big changes. Now all of these are going to be online. So when a student visits, when he or she interacts with a farmer, what feedback she gets from a farmer, what are the advisories given to the farmers, all of these are being recorded either in video, audio or text in a portal, and using artificial intelligence and machine learning tools, all of these are going to be analyzed so that we will be able to come out with some recommendations of how to improve the system better. So it is not only from monitoring purpose, but also for improvement purpose, the whole RAWE program is going to be improved. Now it is going to be, which we call as BICARS, Venture for Interaction of Kisan and Agri Students. So that will be implemented very soon. And similarly for agriculture extension, another big program is coming up, which is called BISTAR, where again all our extension activities and interaction with the farmers and our extension workers are also going to be captured. Of course, expansion of IRI with a dream of making this institute, this university a global university. So we adopted this particular model, which I call Sun, Planet and Satellite model. So IRI is Sun, and then we have got our hubs, say for example in Hyderabad, Krida, and then Krida hub is working in association with several of the institutes which are located in Hyderabad. So they are acting as satellites. So this how now we have got around 16 hubs, and all of these are going to use their resources, their faculty members, their research facilities to help the students. One very big impact, and again all of the students are here, which has come because of simply changing one small rule. Now our UG admission process has been associated with combined university examination test QH, which we call. So till last year, only around 90,000 students used to apply for all the seats in agriculture. 90,000, which has increased to 5,30,000. 5,30,000, just because of changing this particular rule. So now again, for every one seat in ICAR UG program, there are 110 applications. So let me congratulate the students that you are one of those 110. You have outcompeted 109 and become one to secure your seat in ICAR system. And this is also a lesson for the faculty members. So now you know what kind of students you are going to teach. So when you enter into the class, you please remember this number, that these students have come by outcompeting 109. So you cannot enter into the class without any preparation, without, you know, all modern knowledge and so on. So with all of this changing landscape, with all these initiatives and all this background of agri education in this country, I propose few areas as a roadmap to 2047. Though we are doing it, but still some of these areas need little more attention from our side. First one is our agri education should capture the whole chain of agri food system. It should not be left at the production. Production, post-harvest, value addition, marketing, the whole chain of agri food system should be taught, and our students should be trained in the entire process, not simply going only up to the production aspect. So this is a major change we need to bring in. Agri education for consumers and industry. Now, as I said, the production should be market driven. Our teaching and training should be as per the requirement of the industry. So how best and how quickly we will be able to change our whole curricula is another way of going ahead. Agri education for farmers and input suppliers. Not only giving theoretical knowledge, but also the practical knowledge, the day-to-day problem a farmer faces when he or she works in her field. How to do that? Expertise in handling machines, giving prescriptions, knowledge of crop planning, and going up to even marketing. So all of this knowledge must be imparted to them. Agri education for equity and equality. Gender equity. Not only in students number, which is of course now a rather comfortable number, but then it must go even at the farming level, and also attracting and retaining youth in agriculture by giving them new science, new tools. Agri education for nature. It has to be nature-friendly agriculture. And all of us, our students particularly, should be tuned of what is nature-friendly agriculture. What kind of agriculture we should be doing which will not impact environment by any adverse way. That aspect must be brought very strongly in our education system. We should try to decrease carbon, water, nitrogen, and energy footprints, and also increase climate resilience and sustainability. So these are very important. Agri education for knowledge creation. Not only research will create knowledge, but education also should create knowledge with all these new tools and techniques. Agri education for digital agriculture. Indian agriculture has already started its journey towards digital agriculture with new tools, AI, machine learning, all kinds of things, robots, drones. Our students must be equipped with all this new knowledge. So very strong programs should be there in our course curricula to impart this knowledge, this training and this skill, so that they will be able to discharge their duties in times to come. Agri education for service sectors, not only crop production, but also agri-tourism, eco-tourism, agripreneurs, agri-startups, consultancy, IT-enabled services. And there is a lot of demand on these particular aspects. Go to any village, any small town, people are searching for these particular people who have got such kind of skill. A large number of requirements are there. And then of course, agri-education for export. Not only to produce for India alone, but also produce for others. So to know which country requires what kind of commodities, where can we grow that? How can we grow that so that export is going to increase? How can we grow that so that the consignment is not going to be sent back because of some of our problems of pesticides or heavy metals and so on? So all of this should be internalized in our education system. And then finally, agri-education for global agriculture. Not only train foreign students, that of course is one of our big objective, to attract and educate and train students from other countries in India, but also train our students so that they will be able to serve other countries' agriculture, to help them. That's a big opportunity, particularly for African countries, for many of our neighboring countries in South Asia, as well as Southeast Asia. So our agri-education should impart this knowledge that our graduates know sufficient about the agriculture of other countries, so that whenever required, they can go and serve in those countries. They can help those countries improve our export and so on. So friends, these are the 10 areas. There could be many more also, which I think should be there when we start our new journey towards 2047. Now, question is how to implement all these thrust areas, and there we have again started some of the initiatives in ICR. Our preamble is very clear. Scientific agri-education system is the foundation for productive, profitable and sustainable agriculture. That's very clear and strong for us. And there the key partners are going to be teacher as the center, student, the prime stakeholders of that agri-education system, consumer, the major drivers, farmer, the beneficiary, and NARS, National Agriculture Research and Education System, as the enabler. So the whole ICR system is going to play the role of an enabler. How to create a policy, how to provide support, how to put all the things in practice so that this goal is realized. And few things which we need to do: restructuring course curricula. Already we have started the job in our next Dean's Committee meeting as well as BSMA Committee meeting. We are now discussing quite often of how to include all these aspects in the new course curricula. Improving the quality of teachers. We have started in a small way, but it really needs much bigger impetus from us. Developing skill of our students, not only knowledge, not only theoretical knowledge, skill improvement of the students is very, very crucial. Partnership with industry and global universities, again a big way we should go. And then of course for all of these we need more and more resources, more and more funding support. For that, some of the options which we are now trying is diversifying our funding base, not only depending on government alone, but also going to other places, community stakeholders, donors, and donors from regional as well as national and international organizations, alumni and philanthropic organizations. IR has already initiated that process, industry funding for students' projects and products, and of course national as well as state funds, which are also sometimes available in good amount. Just to conclude about the funding situation of ICR, fortunately it is improving. If you see the last bar, this time we have received around 24% more budget compared to what we used to get in 2018-19. We are also going to generate some external funding of around 900 crores. We have created a corpus fund of around 100 crores. And then of course we are also expecting some additional support from CSR and some other sources. So with all of this, our budgetary situation now is also better, and probably it is going to be much improved. But then it is not going to fulfill the entire requirement. We still have to explore for more and more budgetary support from philanthropic organizations, from private, and of course government, which is our major stakeholder there. So friends, I conclude saying that the landscape of agriculture, particularly landscape of agri-education, is changing. Changing ecosystem, changing aspiration, changing demography, and of course new technologies. All of these are changing. And therefore, agri-education has to address the entire agri-food system as per the requirement, improving the whole system for productivity, profitability, and resilience. We need to nurture agri-leaders of future, all the students who are sitting over here, by equipping them as well as the student teachers with new knowledge and new skills. Skill is the buzzword now. We need to develop partnership for agri-education, strengthening our financial support, and then of course all of this certainly will lead for transforming Indian agriculture towards a developed nation, towards an aspiring nation. So friends, on this particular occasion, I wish all of you, all of our students, a very bright future, contributing very significantly for the journey of India towards a developed nation and journey of a new and exciting agri-education system in this country. And IRI is of course the one which has played a very significant role earlier, and again this is going to play another big role in times to come. It has become a flagship institute of ICR and it is going to remain so. So in this week of convocation, and for me convocation is a very religious, a very solemn occasion for all the whole week rather. When I was a student, I used to enjoy it in a very big way. And as this was true when I was a faculty member here, and even now also when I listen that, okay, this is the convocation week of IRI. So in council I have told, don't disturb anybody of IRI now. They are celebrating convocation week. So this is a feeling which all of us have got. So Dr. A.K. Singh, I congratulate you for celebrating convocation with such energy and such solemn way. IRI convocation, friends, is unique. It is not one-day convocation, which many universities observe. It is a week-long convocation, starting from students to getting degree. And this time it is again very special when Honorable President of this country is coming to bless all of us and hand over the degrees to all of you. So I wish you all success. I wish all success to IRI, all of its faculty members, and all those who have been directly or indirectly associated with this particular institute. And that was the dream of Lal Bahadur Shastri, of making Indian agriculture a really great, prosperous agriculture, the best in the whole world. So Shastri ji, we are really trying our best in that particular journey of his dream. Good luck, congratulations, enjoy the week, and again those who are going to get degrees and medals, my congratulations in advance. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for the inspiring lecture on such an important and relevant topic. May I now request Honorable Chairman Dr. Punjab Singh, sir, for expressing his valuable insights on the lecture.
Well, नीरा जी का स्वागत है इस आज के लेक्चर में. Let me at the very outset say that it has been an outstanding lecture. by Dr. Himanshu Pathak, dissecting all aspects of human body right from toe to what we call chundi or head that we have, and gives a whole spectrum of what should be done. As we say, knowledge rules the world. जिसके पास ज्ञान है वही विश्व चलाएगा, and then proper use of knowledge is important unless it is used the other way. Now in his lecture he has very categorically given the history of agriculture institution, how it started, what has been its impact ever since we got into it, and you can apparently see that he has created a very good impact to see as to all has gone over the years in improving not only the quality but also the spread of education across various sections of society, whether rich or poor. And also he said what is, mentioned very clearly, what is the current status, where we are and where we move to go, whether it's in 1947 or 2100, what is our roadmap, and very clearly mentioned the striking gaps which should be handled, to really achieve what we target and to really address what we really project. And that has been the, lead for drawing the policy framework, not only national agriculture, general education policy, even in agriculture education policy, as to what should be done to do that. And ICR approach in that should really be laudable in whatever way you look at it. And that has brought all these changes that we have in the country that we feel in terms of education that we have. The roadmap projected by him, for Atmanirbhar Bharat, say let us say 2047, addresses various issues which are very, very important if you really have to handle, if you really want to achieve what is set up. And that clearly addresses the issue that I said, is dissecting everything, where we are, where we were, where we are, and where we want to go. And to go there, what you need. I think that has been very well elaborated in the lecture here that he gave. Side by side, he also projected the agricultural growth, because all that has come, the impact has been on agricultural growth, and that is all known to you, how we have really made an unparalleled growth in the development of food system, production system, and feeding not only our own people, but even people around us in different parts of the country. And that has been a great challenge, and therefore you can always say that impact of education on the whole system cannot be ignored. There is not need to be done, but we really want to address that. Now agriculture, research and education has to play a very, very important role. I mean, as you say, unless agriculture grows, I very strongly say nothing will grow and sustain in the country, whatever research, whatever sector, or whatever section you talk of, and therefore it becomes important to address to those issues. Some of the things which are very striking, we have gone across various education systems. I had fortunately served as in the system like BHU, which crosses, you can say from kindergarten to any science that you talk in that university. That is why I said it's a very comprehensive university. Now, 2-3 things which really bother is the quality of education. And that is linked to quality of faculty, quality of students, and the quality of infrastructure that has been created today, and what should be needed. There is a gap which you have to, unless you cover that, I think what the speed that you want to go. This is why, because today's education is very, very different than what it was yesterday. And of course, the tomorrow thing is going to be very different, future education, because it is all AI based and everything, and you have to only think things will come. Not that you sit with a pen and this and that and chalk and board and do all kinds of things. And therefore, it becomes equally important to make our students capable of capturing those technologies which they can take, teach, imbibe, move forward to take our students, faculty to a level that the world expects. Or else we will leave behind And that is what very clearly, we have grown, we might have grown from, let's say, about 100 universities to about 500 universities in agriculture system that I'm talking. Put agriculture universities and colleges, private, in this and that together. Now that has grown very fast, and about 1 lakh students we are admitting every year. It's a very big number. I mean, compared to country size, we may not call it big, but still has grown very sizable. But then if you go to the other side, the proportionate increase in infrastructure, ambience, quality, funding, and all those things, we really get a very sorry picture. And that is why we say the way we project it, not only in agriculture, in general education has not taken the lead or the kind of growth that we expect, especially in creating quality, even in spread, and also in creating the impact, which very clearly Dr. Pathak mentioned, in terms of faculties, in terms of funding, and less exposure to new science and technology, and then employability. So these factors are important. Actually, this is how we judge the impact of the whole system that you have. Employment, when you seek the quality employment, something of the students, researchers coming out of the university systems. I think if these parameters applied, I think we will certainly say that we need to go in a big way to really catch up with the things compared to the rest of the world. We will be much better than many countries, but there are countries which are far ahead of us. And that is where we see the government is making efforts. You see 24% increase in budget, and the budget scenario that Dr. Pathak presented. Really look forward, aspires for to capture that. And if that is added, I think all that will lead what we are thinking. We will be able to achieve that. And that only we can say that we can bring a significant improvement. But we have to really sincerely work for that to get that kind of support, or else we will not be able to pick up as we are doing, trying to do what we can do that. And, there has been several schemes of Government of India, including, Institution of Eminence, where government provided 1,000 crore to some of those selected universities, one-time grant. But again, when you go and visit and see the situation, you have to really categorize, and out of all that 1,000 crore, what is spent where, though very well projected, how much of that is actually going to building the capability of students and faculties, leave aside buildings and roads and sports and all that, which is also an important part of that. And therefore, this becomes important as to how we bring, as I said, if you have to catch up, you have to come to the system. The technological innovations which is taking place now worldwide is so fast that it becomes very difficult for us to really catch up with that. I have absolutely no hesitation in saying that our young students are inferior to nobody in the whole world. Given that kind of facility, that kind of infrastructure, ambience, they excel in the situation that you have, and that is the reason that we have made all this progress. Wherever they are placed in the world, you find they have been top few as far as their work, quality, contribution, publication, and therefore you have talent, all that we need to provide that kind of nutrition so that you can really get. So I think our young students, this is actually a very good lecture for you to imbibe. Of course, for us also to know and see what could be done, but more importantly for the young students who can really think where we should move, what is required, and where we stand today, and we can do that. And it's this whole process of development that has gone. I think we must congratulate the system like ICR, which is supposed to be so robust that it has, despite a serious funding crunch, let me underline that because we have gone through this, we have faced these challenges, things have moved forward and have contributed in many ways in promoting not only agriculture production, but also promoting agriculture education quality, research out of which comes out of that. So in that context, I think Dr. Pathak's lecture has been really a good approach. You have lastly seen we are entering into global university, mega university system. That means, a system controlling, creating those kind of ICR type, IERI type of institutions. And that itself is a great thought and thinking and process which is on. And I think attempts should be made to acquire, collect grants so that we are able to really pursue through. And that only can take the whole thing. There is absolutely no doubt that we need much more graduate than what we are producing today. And add quality to that, I think they will excel not only in promoting agriculture, research and growth of Indian agriculture, but at least, few countries I'm sure around us, they can take the benefit because India takes the lead and emerges as a very good, leader now in this part of the world and trying to become as for the leader in the rest of the world, becoming number 3 or something or 2 as our, government policy projects and all that. So with these words, I think I will only say that it has been a very thought-provoking, outlining everything that you think of for education today and education of tomorrow, so that we all imbibe those sentences, those lines, those paras, and move forward what you can contribute in your way. Our future is education and research, and our future is young students and researchers, those who are sitting here, and they should take the advantage of that and promote that science growth, education growth, and country growth, and we all feel. So this will be greatest tribute of listening to late our very beloved Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. I always say proud that we are also born in the city where Shastri ji was there, and that's a great, his family is here. It's a great honor to have them here, and this is our respect that you can pay to that great leader, a great human being, let me say, great human being, those who have come in contact, and that is what leads the nation. And as I said in my opening remarks, which we can breed and clone few Shastri ji in the country, things will change, the automatic though. So our great tribute to him. We all have a very, very high regard to Shastri ji and his family. So I wish you all the best on this occasion. All the best for Director for the Convocation Week. Also, Dr. Pathak very well said, we all enjoyed this process. And it's a procession which continues like marriage, where you start so many functions 1 week before. So it goes on. So it's a really enjoyable, very good event. And every sector of people, faculty, students, everyone working in the system around, they enjoy it. So best of luck and all the best. And a great occasion will be tomorrow when we have the Honorable President of India to inaugurate and be part of this great convocation, our ministers and everyone. So I wish you all the best and imbibe and take lesson for what we have heard from a very brilliant speaker like Dr. Himanshu Pathak. So thank you, all the best and very best to you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for summarizing your insightful remarks on the lecture. May I now request our Honorable Director, Dr. A.K. Singh, sir, to honor our chairperson, Dr. Punjab Singh, sir, for gracing this ceremony with a small token of our love and appreciation. Now I humbly request A.K. Singh, sir. Now I humbly request Dr. A.K. Singh, sir, to felicitate our speaker, Dr. Himanshu Pathak, sir, for delivering an inspiring lecture with a small token of our love and appreciation. our program is nearing the end, I wish to invite our Dean, Dr. Anupama Singh ma'am, to deliver the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Niranjana. It's an honor and privilege to place on record here the vote of thanks on this very prestigious 23rd Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial Lecture. It's indeed a very mesmerizing event. I'm sure everyone must be agreeing. The lecture by the speaker of today, Dr. Himanshu Pathak sir. It's always a treat, when he is speaking and the points that we have to record and to work upon that. So it's a treat, and it's kind of a teacher delivering a lecture and all students taking their notes. So thank you very much, sir. So, without taking much time, so I'm here to place on here the formal word of thanks. And first of all, at the very outset, on behalf of Director IRI and on my own behalf, my sincere thanks to our respected Dr. Punjab Singh ji for so kindly accepting our invitation to chair this prestigious lecture. Sir, we feel honored and inspired by your presence and chairing this session, and also your final remarks have been duly noted, sir, and we assure that we will be working upon them in the earnest spirit, sir. My humble gratitude and sincere thanks to Dr. Himanshu Pathak sir for accepting this invitation to deliver this 54th Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial Lecture, sir. Sir, we assure you that your vision on this very important topic that you have set for us, that is transforming agricultural education for an aspiring India, every point has been duly noted, and so you are aware that we are working in a mission mode under your mentorship and guidance every day. So thank you very much, sir, for gracing this occasion. And my sincere thanks to all the invited guests in the front rows, especially the family members of the late Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, Madam Neera Shastri ji and Anil Shastri ji for kindly coming over here, and Mr. Praveen Gupta ji for gracing this occasion. All the dignitaries in the front rows, all the directors of the outreach institutes, our hubs and our sister institutes, HODs, professors, faculty, and dear students, my sincere thanks to all of you for so kindly responding to the invitation and coming in a good number, in a really large number. Of course, the number could have gone much bigger, but dil mange more. It's always a quest. So thank you very much for coming over here. And in the last, my sincere acknowledgement is placed on record here for the giant team which is leading from the front and also working from the background day in and day out for making this event successful under the very able leadership of our Director IRI, Dr. A.K. Singh ji, who has been providing us every minute guidance towards the right from the minute-to-minute program up to the arrangements and the bouquets and everything. Sir has been just guiding on each and every point right up to the midnight and in the early hours of the day. So thank you very much, sir, for guiding us and taking us for the successful conclusion of this program. So thank you one and all. Thanks a lot.
There is an announcement regarding the press conference which will commence now. I request all HODs to stay back for the press conference. On behalf of Graduate School IRI, I invite the esteemed dignitaries on and off the dais, faculty members and students for a cup of tea outside.